The following production is part of the Play Some Video Games podcast network.
I say it's time we focus on what really matters. The games. Who's with me?
Good morning and welcome to episode 47 of the PlayStation Experience podcast. My name is Seth and I am flying solo this week. Just have a quick show. It's holiday week here. There are a couple of big news items, but wanted to make sure that we got out to you with another episode of the PlayStation Experience. Usually, we would go into what we've been playing, and the only thing I've been playing is actually Gran Turismo Sport and Apex Legends, which I will get into here in a minute. Gran Turismo Sport it's been out for more than a year and a half and is still getting monthly updates, new tracks, new cars, things like that. It is still a tremendous game. Might be my favorite exclusive game on PlayStation 4. Before we get into some Apex Legends discussion, I want to run down the drop from the PlayStation blog. This week, Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers was released in early access, and I know a lot of people are excited about that. Also, Sea of Solitude, the indie-ish game from EA, published by EA, was released. And Stranger Things 3, the game, is out on July 4th, coinciding with the season on Netflix. From my understanding, do not play the game unless you've watched the movie or watched the show. I think the game covers the same story, so be careful with that. And then Tour de France season 2019. That was my really bad attempt of a French accent, which failed miserably. Anyway, the yellow jersey is yours. The official route of the 21 stages of the 2019 Tour de France has been reproduced down to the last detail and will take you from Belgium to the Champs-Élysées. Wow. You can also play online for the first time in the history of the series, challenging up to 3 other players in shorter, more intense races. I've never played a Tour de France game. I think about it frequently. I don't know. I do think getting into racing games recently, and I have a steering wheel and whatnot. I do think that it would be kind of cool with Tour de France if there was a way to connect a stationary bike to the PlayStation, so then you could actually bike while you're biking the Tour de France. That would be cool. I don't know how possible that ever is, but maybe someday. Then I could get some exercise while not actually going outside. Anyway, on to some news that is kind of upsetting to me. Upsetting is too strong of a word because whatever. But so PlayStation Plus games come out the first week of every month. I don't mean they come out. They they're released or as free. We get 2 free games right now. They took away the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita games, have not replaced those with an extra PS4 game or PSVR or anything like that. So last week, as is customary, they announced the new games on Wednesday, and those new games at that time were Pro Evolution Soccer 2019 and Horizon Chase Turbo. Two games. Horizon Chase Turbo I have on Switch, but I will probably play it again on PS4. It's a really good arcade racing game. It's Outrun. If Outrun, it's a spiritual successor to Outrun. It's very good. And then Pro Evolution Soccer is routinely discussed as maybe the better playing soccer game every year, but it's just missing all the licenses that FIFA has, of course. I was excited about it, but then when the games were actually being released on Tuesday, the PlayStation blog just put up a little announcement that says, update, we are making a swap to the PS Plus games lineup for July. This month, we are adding Detroit Become Human Digital Deluxe Edition, which also includes Heavy Rain, to the July games lineup instead of Pro Evolution Soccer 2019. We apologize for any inconvenience. So, I've already played Detroit Become Human. It's a great game. There's no qualms about Detroit being a free game. And as far as including the digital deluxe edition, which includes Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain was a PS Plus game sometime in 2018. So, if you've been a PS Plus member for a while, you already have it. Both are really good games. I love Detroit. It's in the top tier of my favorite games of the generation. Great game. And now I sold it back because I had it physical, so now I have it digital again. Theoretically I could play it again. Probably won't. But I was really disappointed about Pro Evolution Soccer not being part of the lineup. But that, every month I talk about, I'm going to play this PlayStation Plus game, and I played Borderlands 2 a little bit last month and moved on. I really don't play these PlayStation Plus games very much. So that'll be something to. I was really disappointed about this one though. Really was. So moving on to other things. There was a tweet from @Nibellion, Nibellion. I actually didn't see the source for this. Oh, it's a Japanese website, nikkei.com. Sony Entertainment, SIE, Sony Interactive Entertainment President Jim Ryan says that Sony is thinking about acquiring studios as content becomes more and more important, especially with the rise of Google Stadia. So this is cool. This is interesting. Over the past 5 or so years, we keep hearing about Sony closing studios. So now this is sort of a reversal. They have a great group of first-party studios, but they have closed a few over the years. And supposedly, their opening that there's a new studio down in Santa Monica that might be working on an Uncharted game, and but this is talking specifically about acquiring, brand new studios. And I think it's got to be a response to Xbox, who has acquired a lot of promising studios and should be, hopefully seeing a lot of good new first-party games over on Xbox. That's been PlayStation's calling card, really, for PS3 and PS4 is the great exclusives. That's the reason to own a PlayStation. And it'll be interesting to see who they go after. There's Housemarque, who's had a great second-party relationship with Sony for years. That could be great. There was a tweet recently where Shuhei Yoshida was going to visit Housemarque, so who knows? Of course, Shuhei is in charge of the first party studios. There's always Insomniac Games, which has, it has published some games over on Xbox, but it's had a great second party relationship with Sony. That would be a big get. We'll see. I honestly hope whoever they go for, that they broaden their offerings a bit. There are a lot of all these games that are coming out for PlayStation. We covered last week with Kevin, actually. But the upcoming games are all mature third-person action games. It would be great to see some more kid-centric games. Just something different to pad out the variety of offerings. So that will be fun to watch. Now, Apex Legends Season 2. I had not played Apex Legends for about 2 weeks prior to Season 2 launching. So when I jumped back in, actually last night, it took a little bit to get back into the pace of things. I have not bought Wattson yet, though my Mark, who was on the show a few weeks ago, did, and just kind of figuring out how to play as Wattson. She's a really promising character, and I look forward. I'm at like 10,600 Apex credits or whatever the red currency, and so once I get up a few more levels, I'll be able to buy Wattson. So I did buy the Apex Battle Pass. Loving the initial skins. There's a skin for the Spitfire that's pretty cool, and a Caustic skin, which I don't have Caustic, and a Bangalore skin that I actually like a lot. So those are cool. The new Battle Pass, so they changed it from upgrading based on experience points, which is basically time spent, to having challenge. It's all challenge based. So every day you'll have 3 daily challenges to complete. And mine yesterday were challenges that I was never going to complete, but that's fine. And then weekly, there's one challenge. There's recurring weekly challenges. One is if you earn 9,000 XP, you get a Battle Pass level, and then after you get that, it goes up to, if you earn 18,000 XP after that, you get another Battle Pass level. So essentially, just on XP alone, you can get 2 Battle Pass levels in a week, for the amount that you could get 1 Battle Pass level in Season 1. And then you could also get a level for completing 5 weekly objectives and another one for completing 10 weekly objectives. So those are, pretty easily 3 Battle Pass levels that you can really go for. And then there's also 7 weekly objectives that will change from week to week. So like mine last night, one of them was I had to drop in certain areas. So I had to land in like the airbase and Skulltown and a couple more places. And so there were 4 different games. We landed in the 4 different areas, and once that happened, my Battle Pass level popped. I got a couple Battle Pass levels last night. So some of the other ones are damage based. Making knockdowns with a certain character, making knockdowns in a certain area, just all sorts of different things. They don't all give you Battle Pass levels. Some of them give you stars, which contribute toward that weekly, 9,000 XP, 18,000 XP, that cycle. Your stars contribute toward that. So I'm liking it initially. We'll see kind of where it goes. The skins look a bit cooler. Some of the rewards, like level 3 unlock, is some new music, Wattson's theme music, which is pretty cool. So I'm really looking forward to hopefully getting a little bit farther in the Battle Pass. The other big changes to the game, there were a lot. There's a huge Season 2 patch notes. They changed a bunch of weapons. They changed some characters and how they work a little bit and so on. So you should definitely check those out. But the big change, there have been some map changes, which I'm still exploring and figuring out. So on the Apex Legends site, it says, disaster has struck Kings Canyon, home of the Apex games. A repulsor tower built to drive away the area's native wildlife collapsed, clearing the way for a stampede of creatures into the arena. Images of the disaster have been splashed across hollow screens from Solace to Samath, I don't know, and hardly a reporter in the Outlands neglected to comment. Under normal circumstances, we at the Outlands Journal would leave such straightforward reporting to the mainstream, but reports of a mysterious figure appearing in the arena moments before the tower's destruction suggest something more nefarious than an industrial accident. The Journal has obtained photo evidence of some of the damage to the arena, and we believe the truth is hiding in plain sight. There's the Apex Legends Shattered Forest, which has changed. In the aftermath of the tower's collapse, the once peaceful leviathans that hovered beyond the cliffs of Kings Canyon tore through the area, destroying several familiar landmarks in their violent stampede. The small abandoned town on which they settled is now little more than a pile of rubble. Shattered Forest has changed. The shipping container town, the leviathans that they look like huge dinosaurs or something, are just standing there in the middle. I have seen them move a little, just like lift up their leg and go back down. I don't know if you can get caught under that or not. Don't know that I'm going to test that, but their flyers, the dragons, have gone around. They are in. We saw them in cages last night, and so I don't know. my team killed them, and I'm not sure if that's. We didn't get any reward or anything, and I don't know if you kill them there, if they don't fly out later, or if they're just kind of window dressing. I don't know. So there have been a number of other changes to the map that I'm still discovering and figuring out what exactly has changed. But I like it. It adds some variety right now. Another thing that they added was ranked mode, which I have not dived into yet, but it is a ladder system. Starts you out at bronze level 4, and there are 4 levels. So you have bronze 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it'll go up to, let me look at the image here, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and apex predator. So we did not dive into that last night. I sort of figure at the beginning of the season here, all of the major players are going to be diving into that and leveling up pretty quickly. So I think we're going to wait a week or two and then get into the ranked mode and really see kind of where we are. And last night we did, and throughout the ranked mode, the higher rank you get, the more rewards that you will get. There are, it's really good. They have a good post about it on the Apex Legends site on EA. So definitely check that out. So last night we were playing, like the map changes. As far as like some of the gameplay balance changes, like I played with the R99, and right away it just felt better. And I've liked that gun for a while in this game, but it felt. I ran into an opponent within like 2 minutes of my first match and got a kill right away with it, and so it felt good. So we played a number of games, and the games got tougher, which makes sense. I'm sure more people were playing last night, and a lot of people dived into it because of Season 2. But we had some trouble for a while. But then, we got to the end of the night, and we're like, okay, this is our last game, and we won. So that was pretty cool. One thing they changed, another thing they changed, they added a stats page. So if you're on your main, the main screen, as you're saying, deciding what to do and when to start the next match, if you click on your name, it'll bring up a stats page, and it'll show you overall stats and current season stats, and it shows you your overall wins, knockdowns, kills, damage done, assists, kind of moving forward. That's something they're tracking now. That's really cool. I knew that I'd won a handful of games, but didn't know how many I'd won. So last night's win was my 7th overall, which is fun. Long way to go. But I'm digging season 2 and looking forward to continuing to play it. Now it is July 4th, and we'll be away from my console for a little while. But the nice thing, like about the Battle Pass challenges, so if you don't play in a given week, when you come back the following week or sometime later on, or if you don't complete a challenge in a given week for the weekly challenges that change, you can complete them later on, and they stack, I believe, to where, like, one of my challenges is to have 500 damage with the submachine gun. So if I don't get that this week, then next week I can continue working on that while also working on whatever my challenges next week are, which might be, maybe it's, get 2 kills in Skulltown. Well, if I get those 2 kills with the submachine gun, that counts toward my submachine gun damage. So anyway, good changes. I will see everyone on the battlefield. Find me on PlayStation Network at Seth is the Goat, and we can play some Apex Legends. And with that, short show. Thanks for listening. Have a great week.
And though we may pledge fanboy allegiances to different flags, deep down inside we all serve one master, one king. And his name is gaming. Forever may he reign!